Just found the evidence. Important announcement. Before we begin with today's stories, I have some bad news. Sadly, I have to inform you that this channel has been demonetized because of sexual content. Because of production costs, I'm going to stop posting videos on this channel in a few days. If you enjoyed my content, I have a second channel where I'll continue posting daily videos. Highly recommend checking it out. Link to my new channel is in the description. Thank you for your support so far and the support you're providing to the community in the comments. Without further ado, enjoy the video. Been thinking my wife has been cheating for a couple months. We've been in separate bedrooms minus a few weeks in June when we had a brief reconciliation. I was still on edge. I admit, I'm the type that will snoop when I feel that something is up. Then, I found it. The love letter from him. Her coworker. He is a pharmacist in the ER she works at as a nurse. The letter goes on and on about how she turned cold on a Friday. The same Friday I assumed that she broke down at work and called me crying wanting to work things out. It states that for the last 70 days as he has got to know her that he has fallen so in love. Said that she always told him that they could get through anything together. On the letter, the idiot puts his phone number. Duck you both. I call the guy. Confirm who is, then I introduce myself. He knows who I am. I say I believe you know my wife. Silence. I found your little note, Evan. It's time to be a man and tell me the truth. Silence. Then he hangs up. I call back, leave him a message. When you are feeling like you are man enough, you need to tell me the honest truth. You can call me at any time. I'm not going to go crazy or do anything like that, that's not who I am. But it's time to be a man. Not 5 minutes later, frantic phone call from my wife on her work phone in the ER. She tries to turn the blame on me. On any shortcoming I may have and even some that she has made up in her brain. This isn't about me right now, it's about her stepping outside of the marriage. I'm no angel, but I am home every night, home every weekend raising her son like I have since he was 10 months old, now 8 since I met her. I may be a lot of things, true. But at least I'm not a cheater. I know everything about this guy now. Where he lives, his wife's name, the fact that he has a child with her that is no more than 2 years old. This is the type of guy that you want? The type of guy who will run around on his family, his own blood. Duck him. And duck her. The urge to slash and burn and ruin both of them is strong, but I need to take the high road. I have the letter as well as little drawings he made for her. He even dated and time-stamped them. 4:30, 5/1, 5/2, 5/3. You idiot, you gift-wrapped this asset for my lawyer. The letter and notes are safely in a friend of mine's safe, waiting for the lawyer. I will start over. I will get my life back. I will be okay. Redditor's reaction story 2 after. Redditor 1, thank you so much for your kind words. This is a whirlwind. She is grasping at straws, throwing every false accusation that she can my way. They won't stand. Cheaters are garbage human beings. She has no power over me anymore. Redditor follow up, she sees her world crashing down around her, she is trying any and everything to save herself, stay strong. Redditor 2, well done. I really admire your attitude towards this. Have you considered reaching out to the guy's wife? She deserves to know. Op answer, I have thought about it. I have had some solid advice from a couple of folks that I should wait and see what my lawyer says. I found his address just internet searching and found it on the Register of Deeds page. Found her name, searched it and found that she is a pharmacist as well locally. Found her number from a business card she uploaded online. I don't have Facebook, but my buddy's wife looked her up. All kinds of recent happy family photos with their baby. I believe she needs to know as well. I would want to know. But I need to keep cool, and see what my lawyer says. Redditor 3, dude, you sound like a boss. You are doing the right thing. Never let anyone disrespect you. You will thank yourself later for standing so strong. Op answer, thank you for that. I never thought it would go down like this. If I was the person I was 15 years ago, I would have pulled him out of his house and beat him in his front yard for all his neighbors to see. But I can't do that. Too much to lose. My brother is a deputy and advised me first and foremost that he can't arrest me and bail me out. Update, some thoughts on recovery. That dreaded day arrives in our existence as we knew it is changed forever. Many of us are completely blindsided like this. I know I was. Everything we thought we understood about life and the world breaks in an instant. Yeah, sure, many of us say things like deep down I knew, but we also didn't really want to believe it. It also applies to our wayward partners who turned out to not be who we believed they were. Again, I read comments like they have changed overnight into someone I don't recognize, or I can't believe that the person I loved could be capable of that. So what is going on? You can point to their deception, the myriad ways that cheaters lie and scheme to manipulate us. Even in ONS scenarios, rarely do they come clean immediately. Rather, they lie by omission, etc., sometimes for years, and we carry on in our unknowing, ignorant bliss. And what about all the red flags that are so obvious after D-Day, but we were oblivious to the day before? I think deep down we know. Love is often described as looking through rose-tinted glasses, and it is, for the most part, true. As we all know, red flags just look like flags through rose-tinted glasses. Who amongst us hasn't hero-worshipped our loved ones to a greater or lesser extent? Sure, it comes and goes over time, but by then, after that initial love bond is made, the illusionary narrative is established. That illusion persists until it is broken, and nothing breaks the illusion quite like betrayal. I believe that is a considerable part of the reason why so many of us suffer from PTSD or PIT after D-Day, and why it persists for so long in some people. The illusion that we have been living, and the skewed narrative that we have been telling ourselves is no longer sustainable. It's utterly shattered beyond repair. It's like hitting concrete from the 13th floor, and then quickly followed by the concrete turning to jello. Nothing makes sense anymore. Our wayward's infidelity profoundly changes our view of reality, our understanding of self, and the nature of life by bursting our bubble of illusion that we ourselves created. I happen to believe now, after much therapy and introspection, that this is a gift if you let it be. Some try and rebuild the illusion or get themselves a new Shine one. It's not the way, in my opinion. The reality is that we are all flawed individuals, and if we can own and share our flaws with each other, and better yet, love each other despite the flaws, then there is no need for rose-tinted glasses or other forms of illusion. As with most things in life, it begins with ourselves by accepting, and even loving, our own flaws and communicating them clearly to whomever comes into our orbit. I'd love to hear your opinions. Update, the physical injury analogy. I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine. He is a former Redditor who was active in this sub for quite a while. He and I met each other regularly and became friends. He never really told his story in full, just snippets to illustrate his questions and need for support at various times. He has since deleted his account and is concentrating on rebuilding his life. As friends, we talk regularly, and he recently told me one aspect of his story that I had never heard him say before. I thought it was interesting and encouraged him to let this sub benefit from what he had to say. He declined but gave me permission to talk about this one specific thing on his behalf. So here goes. His wife cheated and after a 6-week affair got found out by her husband. She initially denied everything, but after being presented with the evidence she admitted the truth. She insisted that she was remorseful and would do anything to fix the marriage and begged for another chance. They separated, but my friend was bombarded by calls, texts and emails every day, all of which were expressions of remorse and pleading for another chance. Ideally, he would have gone NC, but there were reasons why he didn't. Eventually, he decided that he wanted a divorce and told his estranged wife to come to the house to talk. She arrived and he gently told her that there was no going back for him. It was over. She was distraught, crying, screaming, begging, etc. She refused to accept it was over, and just couldn't understand how he could reach this decision. She asserted that it was all fixable, even if it's hard. She contested that they were strong enough to do it. He eventually, after several hours, calmed her down enough to say the following and the reason for this post. Imagine that you knowingly and deliberately cut my leg off. I now have to live my life with one leg. As I heal, I have to feel the phantom pain daily in a leg that is gone. Even when that phase passes, it's going to itch from time to time, And I'll reach down to scratch and it won't be there, and I'll remember every time what happened and feel that pain all over again. Now imagine that the person that did this horrible thing says, "We can fix it, we can get you a prosthetic leg, I'll help you, you will walk again." He went on to tell her, "I'll always walk with a limp, and I'll always be wondering when I'm going to lose the other one." He said that when he told her that, she just looked stunned for what seemed like several minutes, like she was processing for the first time what she had done. She quietly rose and grabbed her things and left with silent tears running down her face. No words, just left. She signed the papers the next day. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1. Wow. One of the best ways of describing the long-term pain I have ever read. If I thought it would do any good, I would present it to my WS. Unfortunately, I would accomplish as much sharing it with my cat. Op answer, sorry to hear that, brother. I'm glad you liked it. I was sure that some people would appreciate and benefit from this part of his story, which is why I asked his permission to post it. Redditor 2. What a lot of cheaters don't understand is that we don't want to be strong enough to come back from infidelity. We want to be strong enough that it never happens in the first place. Redditor follow up. Exactly. Trust is a sheet of glass. Break it into pieces, and then put it together again and it'll have cracks all over. It'll never be the same. Redditor 3. Man, this resonated with me so much. It's what I always have wanted to express. I was a hopeless romantic before I met my ex. She took that image of innocent, beautiful, perennial love from me. She took my ability to trust romantic partners from me. She took my idealism from me. All I'm left with is trust issues, which I don't know if I want to deal with, cause they'll at least keep me safe. It's a cruel, ironical joke that the only person I will ever love fully and completely is the one who took it and spat on it, and robbed me of it. I know that even if I let myself trust a woman in the future, I'm not gonna give her that 100%. Never. Redditor 4. I don't think people who cheat realize how injurious it is. I've been in this sub for years, even though I'm married 13 years this year to a man who has never cheated. I have never cheated. There has been absolutely no infidelity or reason to logically suspect it, and yet trust issues have ruled our relationship at times. All because of a previous relationship of mine, my first love and first fiancé as a college student. He went to such lengths to hide his infidelity that anything seems possible now. Even nearly 20 years later, I still carry that. So, yeah, my leg never grew back either. Op answer, I'm sorry to hear that it still affects, but super happy to hear that you are mostly happy and content in your current relationship. Remember to check out my new channels. Link in the description. Have a nice day.